Finally getting around to doing the full walk around on this loaded down bike. But as you see, it's not loaded down. I do have a video of that. I'm going to show you that in just a few seconds. I just want to talk about some things that's been happening and why this thing is no longer loaded, why I never made my trip, and why I will probably never come up with a challenge again. All right, well, stick around. Let's go.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
All right, guys, yeah, real quick, I'm just gonna go over the bike, talk about all the things that I did to it, how I got ready, and everything that went wrong. And I swear, there's some forces working against me. Let's get to the bike first, okay? So as you know, my challenge that I came up with was to ride the Yamaha, or any 250, not just this one, but a 250, 2,000 miles, and I had to get it for $1,500 or less. And then this was the bike that I decided on. Everything, I mean, I've already been over the bike a little bit in a previous video. Of course, you know, I did the toolkit. I mean, I just started adding cargo to it. This was a big one right here. I wanted these bars. These are from T-Rex. My only complaint with these is, of course, I would have loved to have some thicker chrome ones like a cruiser would have to kind of go with the theme of the bike. But these things are so thin that these are really, I mean, yeah, I can almost still move these. I've got these as tight down as they'll go. They are somewhat functional. We'll find out here in a little bit because we're going to take this thing for a ride. And but yeah. And I also, the last time, I don't think I had my tank bag on here. I do have a power supply in here. I'm going to use that to charge my phone. I think it's nice because this is solar. It can keep this charged up. I'm not tasking the battery on the bike with anything extra. I do have my Saddlemen bag. I did have this bag on my 2011 Road Glide Custom, and I bought this thing at Sturgis from one of the tents there, and I love the bag. It's starting to, well, parts of it are falling apart. See the tabs, the little plastic tabs from Saddlemen. These things just kind of fall apart when it gets kind of dry rotted or whatever, but the bag itself is amazing. It's got a little laptop compartment right there. Lots of space. This will hold plenty of clothes. I actually keep my let's see, I usually keep my bike cover in here. Right now I don't have it packed in here. I've got my rain gear, a little jump box for just in case I needed some battery charge on the way or somebody else did. You can always stop and help somebody if you can. This is just a little spot for the backrest. If this bag were flipped around and on the cargo rack, this backrest would Velcro, and you could, if you have a passenger, they got a little extra padding. It's nice, but it also works in here because I'm going to be laying across this as well. It also has a rain fly at the top here. Just basically unzip this, and this is attached, but you just pull it over and it'll keep everything in here nice and dry if you hit some rain. I do have my fuel can. This is mounted on here. Perfect. This is exactly why I wanted this rack, actually, and I've got my Pelican cooler, and I do have some cold drinks in here because, like I said, we're getting ready to take a little bit of a ride. That's Boney Bob right here. He's waving to everybody. I figure, hey, Halloween's coming up. Let's get in the theme of things. I did also get this sprocket changed out. So this is going to be pretty interesting when we get on the highway to see what kind of RPMs we're doing. I have been up and down the block and been on a ride with this a little bit. It's a noticeable difference. It's actually pretty nice. So, but yeah, all new sprockets. Again, I did the 17 tooth, 42 tooth back here. As opposed to the stock 1645. But yeah, this is it, guys. Everything is done. This bike is ready to go, and I figure this is the closing day of Bike Week down in Ocean City. So we're just going to take a little ride down to Ocean City, and then I'll catch you up on everything else that's been going on. But that's it. This is the bike. This is the one that was supposed to go all the way to Florida, and it may still, but again, we'll talk about that on the way. All right, I'm gonna assume that you guys can hear me right now, but which gets to what happened. Okay, after I filmed the walk around, that was Sunday, the very last day. I guess it was the 14th, no, 15th, which was the last day of Bike Fest. And a lot had happened before that, but I had the bike all done, had it loaded up, and I just wanted to get at least the last day in. And I did. I rode all the way down there. I made like, I don't know, a 2-hour video or whatever of, you know, riding down. It was nice. I had angles. I had the 360-degree camera going behind me. I had my front camera up here facing me, and did some occasional recordings. Met some really interesting people along the way. Made some new friends down in Ocean City. But you know what? My microphone on this GoPro, somewhere in my helmet, had gotten disconnected. I guess it was the new adapter that I use. I went from that bullet adapter to a cord, so that cord is actually attached to my microphone up inside my helmet behind the padding. And my guess is it got disconnected somehow up there. Went back, redid all the wiring on it, tried to get it corrected. It seems to have worked, at least the last time I tested it. But you never know. And when you film these videos, you just never know until you go to do all your editing that whether it worked or not. So, and it did not. So I wasted my last day. I really wanted to share with you guys the amazing views and everything of Ocean City, going across the bridge. And I can throw that in now. As a matter of fact, I'm throwing it in now because I have the footage. I just don't have any audio with it. So, yeah, but that's pretty much a wash, which kind of sums up the way everything has been going. I'm not going to say this past month or whatever. The past year has been pretty nuts. Also brings me to why I will never do another, at least I won't announce a challenge video. I may make a challenge video. I'll wait till I'm done and say, oh, by the way, that was a challenge. Because the last, if you remember the first challenge I had, which was to buy the Gold Wing, basically, but buy a vehicle. What in the heck is going on here? Some kind of festival. Oh, there's farm tractors, and that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, so that's my ADD kicking in. But, you know, I always playing these things and stuff goes wrong. Now, you remember the first one, my mom went in the hospital. I got all the way down to Tampa and had to turn around and come all the way back. Then I said, okay, to make up for it, I'll make the next camp out. And just a few days before that camp out, my daughter got rear-ended and her car got totaled, and I had to stick around and deal with the insurance company. Because technically they're in my name, but, you know, had to get her car, get her situated, so that trip got canceled. And then I did this thing, and in sure fashion, my son got into a bad accident. He got T-boned really hard. His car got totaled, and you guys, if you've been watching the channel, you already know all the work we did on his car. You know, I'm going to get on the highway with this, but yeah, we just done a whole bunch of work on his car, put thousands of dollars into it, and yeah, and it, just like that, red light runner, bam. So then shortly after that, I thought, okay, I'll get that situated, and I kind of had it was going to be done in time. I was going to leave the following Sunday, and then of course my mom went back in the hospital, and unfortunately she never made it. Well, she made it home, but she just passed away. So that has kind of put a damper on all of this. And I'll tell you, I can only talk about it because I'm riding a bike right now, and this is just that freedom that just, you know, those problems that you think about them, it's like they immediately blow away. Well, that's how I feel right now. Just get out on a ride. It feels good. Well, this isn't my normal style. I'm not normally a cruiser kicking back like this, but I learned a lot from the ride down to the beach. Okay, about this bike. I certainly could have made it all the way to Florida and back. I have no doubt, but I would have paid dearly on the hindsight, okay, because even with that gel cover on here, kicking back the way I was, you know, whether I put my feet up here like this, kicking back like whatever, my tailbone was definitely feeling it. I need to be a little bit more upright, or remind myself to sit upright. It's kind of a weird, uncomfortable position, but that way you got to move around a lot on a bike. And now with the Gold Wing, you have a much bigger seat. It's like sitting in a recliner. You have a little bit more, we have that lower back support, which is nice. And then you have floor, well, at least the one I went to Florida on originally, my GL 1800, it had floorboards that I could stand up and stretch my legs. this forward controls you can't stand on. Now I could probably get on the rear controls and try to stand, but that's real important for long rides, to be able to kind of stretch out. Now of course you can stop more frequently and take a lot longer, but you know, when you're trying to iron butt something or just put the miles and crush the miles, you don't want to do a lot of stops, and that's kind of what this bike will require, especially the small tank and everything. But again, you know, you saw the external tank I had that was great for making the extra range. I was gonna look at putting a line to my fuel line and tee it in, and that way, you know, I got that extra fuel. But then I'd have to get the can refilled. It's kind of the caps on the side. I couldn't figure out a way to work it. Holy moly, that thing burnt. But yeah, it's crazy. Man, I can still smell that thing. That must have just happened. That's sad. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, it sucks. You know, it's part of life, man. We have things that happen in our lives. So sometimes when it rains, it pours, and it's definitely been a rainy few days. This is actually a nice day today. The only nice day, because that hurricane is the result. Remains of that are kind of coming up. So in the next 3 days, it's probably going to be all rainy out. But it's already hit at this point, and it's already over Georgia or whatever. And this is, like I said, this is going to be our last good day for a little bit. So I figured we'd get out, catch up, film. Hopefully the audio works this time. You guys can see what this bike's all about. As far as the future on it, I'm not sure if I'm going to, you know, not... Here, I'm going to pull over here and get rid of this basket out of the road, because that don't need to be there. There's another one on the other side, so I think I'll just pop it over there. But yeah, I'm going to... Let's see, no cars coming. All right, just put that on over there, guys. Oh, it might be out of that guy's boat right there. That makes sense. He's got like some crab bushel things there. All right, well, that was my good deed for the day. I'm gonna wrap this one up and let you guys go. Oh, this is a beautiful little ride right here. Just wish it was a day it was a little bit nicer and less wet. Oh, beautiful. All right, enough twisties. All right, see you guys on the next one. As always, one last turn, and then peace.